Welcome back, my name is Tomislav, and in this video I'm going to show you a lovely little package that arrived in the mail today, and it's not tool. And what came in the mail is actually timber. Now I have a little deal with one of the customers, a very regular customer, since I never turned any of the exotic timbers, and he also would like some of the stuff turned from that, so we come to agreement to he will pay for the timber and I will drop the price for the turned item. And now I've never turned some of this timber, like this red card here, and now this one here is not so much exotic. This is EU. It's not available here in Croatia, and it's something that I wanted to try to turn, so there will be a lot of, well, I say a lot of, this is quite bad as well, timber, a lot of splits here, but I think I'll get out a few of the cross grain, maybe boxes or a bowl, something like that. This is 2-inch thick slab. And here I already played with this red heart here a little bit. It's not the best timber from this company. The seller actually told me that it's really hard to get this red heart in this 3-inch thickness without any splits, and this piece actually has quite a lot of them, so we'll have a little bit of playing around to get the most yield out of this timber. Now, since I'm speaking the yield, this piece here is also not so much exotic. I already put a little bit of tung oil on the surface here. This is Swiss pear. Now I've talked to customer and to maybe utilize all of the blank here to maybe turn one of the square dishes that I turn. However, I think the better option is to draw the maximum diameter, cut that out, re-saw in half. That way I will have 2 dinner plates or lunch plates, since this is 10-inch diameter, 250 mil, and the thickness is around 60 mil, so 2 pieces of a little less than 30 mil thickness for a plate is actually quite good. From these corners here, these 4 corners, I would get 4 smaller bowls for, let's say, spices or a sauce dip or something like that. So this will be a separate video. This should be a really interesting one, since this is a really lovely piece of timber. And here I did have a video on this timber here and the box that I made out of it, but the audio was so terrible and the picture sort of froze in some of the sections, so I just didn't want to put that out. It's not a great video. So this is leopard wood. It's actually quite a lovely piece, and it's not that expensive as well. It's, I believe, 26 euros for this chunk. It's again 2 inches thick, 50 mil, and you can see a lovely leopard pattern here. I hope on the camera will show it. So this blank, like I said, I already cut up, so I managed to get from similar size blank like this 2 spindle blanks. This will be for the needle sort of case, another cross grain box or a scoop or a little glass, and 2 scoops here. And from this piece, what I think I'll turn is I'll get from diagonals here the biggest circles I can have for a cross grain box maybe, and then from these square sections here, corners, I'll turn again some box or anything like that. And we come to these 2 lovely chunks which I'm really excited to try out. This is zercote or Mexican rosewood, and you can see here it has a lovely two-tone where the sapwood is. So I think from this corner I'll get 2 box blanks, or maybe 3 if I go smaller, not sure yet, and it will be great two-tone effect, which I think really should play out nicely. And all of the items that I turned from this timber here will go to that customer, so, and I have sort of a craft creative freedom, let's say. And all of this chunk here, I think I'll turn 1 bowl and maybe some other spindles or cross grain box. I'll see when I get to this piece. And this one here is purple heart, which you might be guessing by its color. Again, it's a really nice solid chunk. I forgot to mention that on the zircote there is only, as much as I can see now at this stage, only a few surface splits here on the sapwood, and here on the purple heart there is not much, only on the corner here, which does look a little bit brittle, and on this corner here as well, where the sapwood is, or where the bark was. So again, a few smaller surface checks, but overall a really nice solid chunk, again 3 inches thick, and I get to play around what to turn, so can't wait to dig my teeth into this here. Another commission work for a different client that I'm working at the moment right now is this big cherry 14-inch bowl. Now this was from a 3-inch slab, and I rough it out, so I would let the wood for a week, let's say, allow it to warp if it wants to, so it will be much stable. Although it's a dry slab, this way, since it's a really large diameter, this way you give the wood the opportunity to warp before the final shaping. And this is the 14-inch platter from Chestnut, also from a 2-inch slab that are allowed now to rough it out and let it warp if it wants to. And this is elm rough out bowl from roughly a year and a half ago, or a year and 2 months ago. Now, what inspired me to do this video today, and I don't have much time since it's getting quite late, so I managed to squeeze what I wanted to turn for this client today, is I want to try out how the U turns. I think it should turn quite well, and I've cut a little spindle blank out of the slab, and just to show you here, this is another part of this commission. A lovely picture frame. This is a combination of cherry and walnut, which I think is the best combo you can have with the different color timbers like this. And what inspired this video today is again, for this client, these scoops here. And just to show you, these are rough and inspired scoops, so I signed them on the inside a little bit backwards, but when you flip it around, so signature, and here it says ash. And this is a lovely walnut as well, lovely different sort of a pattern here of color. And since I've turned these a few minutes ago, it's a good muscle memory to turn this U here. So I'll clean everything up and we'll set off. So this blank will go for the moment into these shark jaws, just for a brief moment until I turn this end roughly around. I put a tenon, which then I can flip it around, so just want to make sure it's square in or square enough. And I'll rough turn this down with 1-inch skew. Still a little bit more. Just to clean this area, and we can flip this around. Let's see how it turns. Yeah, that's actually quite nice. It will be much better when we flip it like so. Repeat the same action here. I want to get the maximum diameter here. Okay, we can hollow this out. Now what I like to do for the scoops is pretty much the same diameter, go the same depth, and that's to this mark here. This U sort of reminds me so far as it turns much like juniper or slič as we call it here in Croatia. And I'll rub this out using the spindle gouge and back hollow cut. Get to the bottom of that hole, and that's it. Now yew is poisonous timber. The bark, the leaves and everything is quite poisonous out of it. But if I've read correctly, once it's dry and it's this kind of timber state, it's actually quite inert, and you cannot do much harm to you. So, but obviously you don't want to chew on the wood or breathe the dust in from this, so I will have the dust extractor when I get to sanding. This is asymmetric curve scraper. This 25mm wide asymmetric curve scraper. It's a little bit easier with this one to get a nice flowing curve on the inside. A little lump in the center. So put the fresh burr on the scraper just to get a nice finishing surface. That feels much better. Okay, I can sand the inside, turn on the dust extractor. So the inside is sanded, and what I'll do is with the parting tool just get this. This is the exact line of the inside where the depth is, and I'll go 1/3 in. That's just rough dimension, and I'll clean this up. And I want to get the outside shape similar or close to same as the inside of the scoop here. I'm sneaking upon that shape. Control the skew by keeping it on the bevel or use a corner. That feels quite good. Tweaking So I feel just a little bit more thickness, maybe here in the very middle. Get that out like so, and now I can shape this. Get the waste out of the way. Get you a little bit better angle. This way you can see what I'm doing on this side. Okay, that's looking quite good. I'm happy with this. A little bit deeper V-cut, and we can get all of this timber out of the way. I'm working on a smaller diameter now, so I'll drop the rest a little bit down. And let's see. A little cove. So that's finished. This is finished. You can see a nice polished surface straight from the skew. And now just to show you, you can do a little cove with a big skew. There we go. That's quite good. Now I would like a little longer handle here. So what I'll do, just pull out. You can see that's a lovely finish on the outside. Just pull out a little bit of stock here. Now I can remove some of this waste here as well. And I'll use a spindle gouge just to get this done. It's looking quite good. Open up this. Now this is way too big of a diameter, so thin the handle a little bit at the back, but not too much. So that's quite good. And I can start parting off process here. And I'll put a little V here and maybe one here as well. Okay, so I'll sand the outside now and we'll finish it off. figured out that this yoke sands quite easily, quite fast as well. And grab a little bit of shavings just to polish it up a little bit. And we can part it off. So that's looking quite lovely. Let's see if I have enough timber here. So I'll go to next set of teeth marks. Just get rid of this fuzz. Be careful when you don't have a polished surface on the inside with wax. To push it on the dry timber like so, because it can snatch. It's not very pleasant. So I need to take just a little bit more. Now this is on a edge of breaking if I push it all the way in, so just take a little bit more off. It's better to do it that way than to push it all the way in and then it'll split the end grain. There we go. And now I can finish this end with the skew chisel, nice and gently. Don't force the knife into wood. Okay, that's looking quite good. A little decoration and a little bit of sanding. So now we can sand away the portion to make it a scoop. Now I need to change the paper on this disc. It's quite worn out, but I think for this should do the job. With the 240 grit, I'll just take away the corners here. I'll apply a finish. This is tung oil with a citrus solvent. and I already signed the inside. You can see here, and on this side the name. It has, or should have, this lovely golden yellow brown color, and so far it didn't disappoint. It's nice to work with. It sands quite easily and fast, and with tools as well it performs quite well. So, and you can see this looks really nice color, grain and everything. I'm really happy how this wood works. Quite easy to get a decent surface before sanding, and it does sand quite easily as well, or fast, so quite pleased with that. So I can't wait to get the turn on the Zerkote and Purple Heart, and that should be a really fun video and experience as well. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.